we hold represent the dawn of a new day. As you embark upon this new phase of your educational journey, we hold these lights in honor of those who have paved your way. We remember their sacrifice of tears, sweat, and sleepless nights to prepare you for this moment. In particular, we lift up the memory of Medgar Wiley Evers, whose life illuminated a path of justice and equality for people of color. These lights we hold represent the kindling of new opportunities. We celebrate your first steps to realizing your personal and professional dreams and aspirations. Accepting our invitation to learn, you will be prepared to become change agents in your home, on your job, and in the community. These lights we hold represent the hosts at Medgar who are committed to creating success one student at a time. We are a community that believes in its core values of excellence, respect, honesty, integrity, collaboration, success, community service, and leadership. And we are committed to seeing those values become the core of who you are, personally and professionally. Joining us in this ceremony is the leadership of this great institution, President Edison O and his cabinet members, the Provost, Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs, Vice Presidents, and School and Administrative Deans, who are holding the lights, celebrating your decision to make a difference in the world by becoming a member of the Medgar Evers College family. Pause for a moment with me as we experience and affirm the beginning of your transformational learning process that will empower you as students to become better than you are, greater than you can imagine, and place all your energies into becoming the person you desire to be: a doctor, a lawyer, an educator, a nurse, a business manager, an account executive, a biologist, a computer scientist, and much, much more. Tonight, you are officially inducted into a distinguished group of individuals who share in common their pursuit of self-improvement, a sound education, an opportunity to develop a personal value system and gain maximum benefits from life experience and from their environment to foster social change. The doors of Medgar Evers College are open wide, and we welcome each of you as the newest members of our family. Will the cabinet please be seated? We welcome you and we congratulate you on making Medgar Evers College your choice for personal transformation. Give yourselves and this great cabinet and leadership a round of applause. It is an honor and a privilege to have the opportunity to present to you our speaker for this evening, a man of great personal integrity, whose life and work embodies all of the principles that were reflected in the passages that I just read. He is a great leader and visionary leader of this fine institution. He is a man of God, and his very principled life comes across in all that he says and all that he does. And you should understand one thing: he is truly dedicated and committed to creating success one student at a time. I present to you our visionary leader, President Edison O. Jackson.
to Dr. Phyllis Curtis Tweed, our presiding officer for this occasion, to my colleagues on the platform, and to you, the incoming freshman class. It is so wonderful to see you here this evening. It is a privilege for me to welcome all of you to the great Medgar Evers College of the City University of New York. You have made a marvelous decision to pursue higher education as your vehicle of transformation. You are joining a distinguished group of students who are studying here at Medgar, changing their lives, and beginning to truly make a difference because of the education that they receive at Medgar. Someday soon, you will be joining the alumni of this great institution. 2006, 2008, 2010, whatever the time period. Whenever you graduate from this great institution, you will be joining a distinguished group of leaders in our community. I am so happy that you have chosen Medgar Evers College as your vehicle of transformation. One writer says that education has the capacity to transform. And we are happy that you have chosen Medgar Evers College as your vehicle of transformation. As you make this journey here at Medgar, understand that you are going to meet some marvelous people. Faculty members who are distinguished in their own right, coming from every corner of the world, graduating with the most distinguished degrees from the best universities all over the world. You will be communing with people with great intellect, challenging you to do all that you are capable of doing and being the best that you are capable of becoming. This is an interesting journey that you are taking. But I promise you that it will be fun, work, and more work. See, anything worth having has value, and you have to put effort forward if you want to succeed. Life is about a journey, and you are on a journey. Where you sit tonight is your temporary state. And the kinds of decisions that you make today and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow will determine where you'll be in the future. So you've made one great and good decision, and that is to pursue higher education. And one of the things I wanted to say to you, that if anyone asks you what college you are attending, you are going to say, Medgar Evers College, where else would I be? Because we are the best. We are one of the best. And no matter what one may tell you, The education that you get here at this wonderful institution can take you wherever you want to go. Our graduates have gone on to the Ivy Leagues. Our graduates have gone on to become doctors, lawyers, teachers, engineers, computer scientists. The education that you get here can take you anywhere. But you got to study. You got to understand that college is different than high school or any other experience in terms of education. This is serious business, and we need all of you to become great thinkers, to become great leaders. Because given the landscape and given from whence the community from whence we have come, most of our communities need people who are qualified, who are skillful, who are introspective, who understand the challenge. Understand that you have a responsibility not only to be great, but also to reach back and bring someone else with you. It is not just enough for you to be here. What about your friends, your families, your children, your husband, your boyfriend, your significant other, your wife? What about them? You've made a great decision. But what we are talking about is building a new community. And you are making a start in doing that. And we commend you for making that decision. This morning when you got up, it was important because you had made a decision to pursue higher education. It is a defining moment in your life. Understand that this is serious business. Successful students are those who have the characteristics of the following. They study, they come prepared, they ask questions, and they don't sit in the back of the room. You want to look smart even if you're not smart. And so one of the characteristics is just always be sitting in front. See, the professor can see you in the back as well as they can see you in the front. So you can't hide from them. Now, there are also a set of strategies for failing. Cut off your beepers, please. Not going to class, not being prepared, thinking that Medgar Evers College is an alternative playground, not going to the library to do your assignments. All of this will help you to fail. Hundreds of thousands of students have tried this and they have perfected failure. What we want to do is to teach you how to succeed at Medgar. And there's nothing magical about it. Successful students have developed and embraced successful strategies. There's nothing new about it. And so what we want you to do is to be successful at Medgar. You cannot assume that in studying that you can put a book under the pillow at night and wake up in the morning and expect that you will know the material. Now, there is something called osmosis, passing, fluid passing through a membrane, but I'm sorry, my beloved, it just does not work in study. And do you know there are people who still do those kinds of things? Putting books under the pillow, doing all. There are no shortcuts to academic excellence. It is about studying, working hard, preparing yourselves for the 21st century. We are living in a competitive society. And unfortunately, there are many challenges that we face as people of color. And our communities are under siege. There are too many of our men and women going to prison. There are too many of our women who are now HIV positive. There are too many of those of us who look like me, who are impoverished, and oftentimes don't see any way out of that dilemma. Education can be the key that will take not only you, but those who will follow you out of your current dilemma, so that you will not just be eating crumbs from the table, but you will be able to sit at the table and to feast on the sense of economic security. That's what education is all about. That is why you are here. It is power. Knowledge is power, but knowledge is power only when you use that knowledge for some good purpose, I would hope. This journey is one that we want to help you to make it. There are going to be some challenges. There are going to be some folks that you may not necessarily like. It is not about liking anyone. It is about getting as much information as you can from those who have the information. Because you have a goal. And your goal is to get a college degree. Your goal is to transform your life. Your goal is to become a part of the have generation as opposed to the have not a generation. Your goal is to learn as much as you can at medical to transform your life so that you will become a major warrior in this war. Because there is a war. There is a war. I want you to be the best that you can. And our motto here is what? We create success one student at a time. And I want you to challenge us when we are not creating your success and your success as you make this journey. Because when you challenge us, then we will become better at creating success one student at a time. I want you to begin to think about this journey that you have embarked upon. Why are you here? What has led you to decide to pursue a college education? As you make this journey, you will change. Your family members and your friends will see the change that's occurring in you before you do. And some of them may feel insecure and in some cases envious of your success. Ladies, my sisters, if you got a significant other, I would suggest that you try to encourage that brother to come to college, because you're going to grow intellectually. Your language is going to change. Your outlook on life will change. You will see the possibilities that you never saw before, because education has the capacity to transform. And so how do you get prepared and prepare yourself for that kind of challenge that you're going to face? So likewise, brothers, you are going to, those of you who have a significant other, you're also going to face challenges because you're going to change. You see, others can see in us the changes that are taking place before we do. Now, one of the things I want you to understand is, and be careful about, as you make this journey and as you are being transformed, don't get on an ego trip. Don't begin to think that you are better than everybody else. They say there's no bigger fool than an educated fool. Okay? You're not going to acquire this education to get on an ego trip and think that you're better than everybody else in your neighborhood and sometimes even in your own home. But what you want to do is to use this education to empower you and your family. Those of you who have children, I said that education has the capacity to transform. You need to make sure that you are involved in your child's education. Because if the school system generally in our neighborhoods were about the business of really lifting up our children, most of them would do a better job. But I tell you, if you advocate for your children, you can cause the system to change. One person can make a difference, and you can make a difference. Martin Luther King, one person, made a difference. Medgar Evers, one person, made a difference. Malcolm X, one person, made a difference. Fannie Lou Hamer, one person, made a difference. Yours truly, Edison O. Jackson, made a difference. Each one of us has been gifted with such marvelous gifts. You have been endowed by the Creator with such marvelous gifts, and only you, your unique gift, your gift is what the world is waiting for. Not yours, but your gift is very unique. And you have been endowed by the Creator to do great work. Understand that you have been placed on this earth to make a difference, to work out, and to help others. What we are saying at Medgar, we want people to be very different. We want when you walk down the street, they will say that's a mega man that's walking down the street. When you walk down the street, we'll say there's a mega woman walking down the street, because you carry yourself like you are somebody. Profanity, leave it at the door. Leave it at the door. And they said people who use a lot of profanity, somehow or another they have a limitation on their language, and so that's all they can use to express themselves. We would hope educated people, as you will become in a greater way, will not be using profanity. You see, when you walk down the halls, if you're using profanity, you never know who's walking down the halls as well. It may be a great person who wants to make a great gift to Medgar Evers College. So you never know who's walking. And I just expect you to be better than that. I expect you to be better than that. And you're going to be that way, right? Are you going to be that way? All right, come on, wake up, wake up. It's 6 o'clock in the evening, but it's all right. Wake up. Hey, this is excitement. Don't you feel good about your decision you made in coming to college? I mean, and your friends are saying, what? You going to college? Yes, I'm going to Medgar Evers College. Where else? Won't you come go with me? Oh, yes, we will. We love children, and Medgar is a family. And it is good, because some places they don't like to see children at the college. But we are family. And we want to be your family at Medgar. Now, some things that you will encounter. There are going to be some folks who would like to stymie your progress. You're going to meet, and I'm sure you have met, some negative people. I would suggest to you watch and examine the crowd that you're running with. Are you running with winners or losers? Are you running with people who are going somewhere or people who are not going anywhere? You see, it's hard to move forward if you got a weight that's pulling you back. You got to make a decision. I'm not talking about stepping on people now. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about relationships. And you have to make that decision, because in this journey, you are going to need a lot of psychological energy to study, to go to school, and to be successful. There are some people who are famous at giving you their excess baggage. And some of us are so gullible that we take the excess baggage. And do you know, if you're traveling, if you had 2 suitcases, you get in both hands, and then you say, would you take my bag? If I take your bag, then I got 2. Then somehow or another, I got to either drop one or carry a heavy load. There's a story I tell all the time, and it's about friends who call you up at midnight and share with you all their woes. And after they share with you all their woes, and after they hang up, you cannot sleep because you're thinking about them. And you talk to them the next morning, they say, this is particular women, girl, I slept like a log last night. And what happened to you? You were up all night thinking about them, and they gave you what? Their excess baggage. And there are some people who are good at doing that. And what you have to say, no. I love you, but I'm not going to take it. I have enough challenges in my own life, and I'm willing to help you, but not to take your excess baggage. Decision making. Making decisions that will propel you to greatness rather than making decisions that will cause you to falter. But if you falter, my beloved, there's a saying, if you fall, they say what? Fall on your back. If you fall on your back, then you can what? Look up. If you can look up, then you can get up. If you fall on your face, you're looking at what? The ground. If you fall on your back, you're looking at possibilities. You're seeing the sun, the stars, the moon, all the possibilities. And so it is about life. So it is. Because see, I'm talking about how to survive, how to make it, because you're going to learn the ABCs. You're going to learn Chaucer and all the Homer and all the great philosophers and Pascal and the rest of them and great scientists. But how are you going to make it? How are you going to make it? It requires a transformation and a deliberate decision to change. Because if you are not willing to change, then you are not willing to grow, and you will not be able to succeed. There are some relationships that Ayanna Van Zandt said. She's a graduate of Medgar Evers College. Did you know that? All right. She is powerful. She was our commencement speaker, and she said to the graduates one day, she was talking about relationships, and she was raised at a point by her grandmother, and her grandmother would say to her every time she went to the bathroom, when she came out, she said, did you flush, wash your hands, and then you could move on. Whenever she did not flush and wash her hands, her grandmother would send her back into the bathroom to do that. What Ayanna Van Zandt was saying was that some relationships, you need to flush, wash your hands, so you can move on. All right? Some relationships, you need to just flush, wash your hands, and move on. Because they're not going anywhere. They are not going anywhere. And they want you to stay with them. And I'm saying this because some of you may not have thought through very deeply this challenge. Because it is going to be a challenge. There are some of you who now will not have time to party on Friday nights or Saturday nights because you're going to have to study. There are some of you who had relationship with friends and they wanted you to be there with them all the time. You could say, no, I got to study. There are some of you who are married and you can't be as loving and as whatever because you got to study. It's real, brothers and sisters. It's real. Decision making, that's what you got to do. That's why I say, take your partner with you. Help them to understand what you are going through and ask them to be your supporter, your enabler. Now, not 2 months later. It may be too late then. It may be too late then. And you want the person, your soulmate, to grow with you mentally and psychologically in this journey. And it is important that you do so. It is important that you do so. Understand that there's one writer who speaks about defines success in this fashion. He said, success occurs where preparation meets opportunity. Success occurs where preparation meets opportunity. And the only thing we have control over is what? Preparation. You don't have control over opportunities, but you do have some control over how well you prepare yourself for the future. And that is one person's definition of success. I wanted to challenge you this evening to do all that you are capable of doing and understand that you're sitting in a place because people gave their lives so you could be sitting here and so that I could be the president of this institution, that is people of color. And we want you to you stand on sturdy shoulders. And those who preceded us did that by a labor of love and sacrifices. This is a labor of love that you are now embarking upon. And as you do that, we want you to become great people like our ancestors, so that you can become the great leaders and the shoulders that you stand on. Understand that this is a wonderful journey. Understand that Medgar is the best place that you could ever be. We are building 2 new buildings, $160 million. It is unprecedented in our community to have that kind of construction going on in our community. Right next door, one of the buildings is going up. Going up. Steel is up. Soon you'll see windows in. And next summer, we will be occupying it. That's the kind of place you're coming to. And next spring, you'll see the other building. I'll dig in the foundation, $137 million science and health and technology building, so that you, our students, will have the best in terms of environment, academic environment. So you can tout and say, look, Medgar is the best. Not only does Medgar have the best faculty, administration and staff, and students, but we have the best structural environment to teaching. That is what we are trying to do. Now, brothers and sisters, I want you to do a pledge. And that pledge is in your folder. You see, it's on your left-hand side. I guess it's on your left-hand side. Wait a hand. Here they are. Will all the sisters stand in the house? And I want you to repeat this after me. I pledge to support you, my brother, in all your good and worthy endeavors. I will work with you to teach you that I'm not your enemy, but your friend, your supporter, and your soulmate. We'll be the mothers and mates who will join you in creating a new family structure. Together, we will coexist in peace, love, harmony, and unity. Well, does that hand clap on that one? All right, thank you. Will the brothers please stand? All the brothers in the house. Repeat after me. I pledge to treat you, my sister, with dignity and respect. I know that when I disrespect you, I disrespect myself. All that I am and all that I could be, I pledge to support you in your quest for freedom from male domination and abuse. We will be the fathers and the mates who will join you in creating a new family structure. Together, we will coexist in peace, love, harmony, and unity. Thank you, brothers. My brothers and sisters, I will ask that you just tape that on your mirror in your bathroom, so that when you get up in the morning, that's something positive that's facing you, and so that your behavior, it will become ingrained in you. Let me just conclude by talking about vision. Every act is preceded by thought. Every act is preceded by thought. And before that thought can become an act, there is a belief structure that's working. So there is thought, belief, and action. And you do it routinely every day. But I want you to understand the possibilities of having vision. Understand that you have to be about the business of affirming positive thoughts. Don't allow negative thoughts to consume you. Because if you allow negative thoughts to permeate and be a majority part of what's in your mind, it will consume you. And it will destroy you in the end. You can control your thinking. You can control what comes in your mind and what goes out. I want you to be possibility thinkers, to think about all the possibilities, all the things that can happen to you. If you expect great things will come. If you affirm negative things, that was what will come. You see, what you speak will become your reality. What you speak will become your reality. You should never speak failure, but only success. Brothers know how to do that very well. Let me tell you how they know how to do that very well. If they see a young lady that they like to get close to, a good brother is not going to say, I don't think I'm good enough to talk to this lady. He's going to come forward and believe that, in fact, that he's going to do that. Affirming goodness, same way with our sisters. That's just the real world. What I'm saying is, just as you use those, think about it. Think about good thoughts. You came here because you're what? You're going to what? Succeed. Not fail, succeed at this journey. And if anyone tells you that you are not going to succeed, you will just simply dismiss that thought and move on. Dismiss any negativity that may come your way. There is a story I shared some time ago. There was a man riding his donkey, and he was going down a narrow corridor. And there was a hole on the left-hand side of the road. And the donkey was so stubborn that he didn't want to move to the right, and the donkey could not see the hole, but the rider could. And the man pulling the donkey said to that donkey, move over. The donkey fell into the hole. The hole was so deep that they couldn't pull the donkey out. So the man decided that I guess I will simply cover him up, bury him alive. But as he was pushing dirt on top of the donkey began to shake the dirt off of his back. And as he was shaking the dirt off of his back, the dirt fell on the ground in the hole, and every time the shovel came with more dirt, he came higher and higher because what? He was shaking the dirt off of his back. The person who thought that I will bury the donkey had alternative and a different perception. So it will be with some of you. Some of you will face people who will be dumping dirt on your back. And what I want you to do is just shake it off. Shake it off. Understand that I am not going to accept that negativity. I am not going to accept your burying me. Shake it off. As you go forward, you will learn new things, and you will go higher and higher and higher. As I conclude, there's something you will learn, and you will learn it well as you stay here. And it talks about vision, belief, and action. And it goes like this. I want you to repeat it with me. If your mind can conceive it, and your heart believe it, then you surely can achieve it. Welcome to Medgar Evers College, and you have a successful journey as you make this journey here at Medgar Evers College. Medgar Evers College, no place else. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. You are now Medgar Evers College men and women. Give yourselves a standing ovation. Give yourselves a standing ovation. You deserve it. Please be seated. We thank Dr. Jackson for his inspiring words. I know I feel pumped up and excited, and I'm sure that you do too. I'm going to ask that you remain seated while the dais guests recess. And we have just a few announcements, and then we will close our program. Music, please. Leaving, let me just say that one thing that you'll find at Medgar Evers College is that the leadership is very real, very down to earth, and very approachable. And just as they've been walking out and shaking hands and having a few words with you, just that's the way they are. Feel free to stop Dr. Jackson in the hall. We can hear him speaking on his mic, and say hello. Many of you met the vice presidents and other cabinet members in the orientation program. Dr. Jackson, turn off your mic.
Too much. I love you guys. Too much. Campus a little bit. Don't worry about it.
Many of you met the vice presidents and cabinet members during the orientation program. Many of them came into the registration room, the President's Conference Center, while you were waiting, and they had a few words of encouragement for you. And feel free, please, to stop and say hello, to ask questions if you need help. We are all here and available to you. At this point, many of you have already registered for your classes. Raise your hand if you have not. If you have not registered for your classes, our next official day of registration is Tuesday of next week, okay? And we will start at 10 o'clock. We didn't have an opportunity to introduce everyone who was on stage, but before you leave, I want to introduce just a couple of people who will be very, very important to you as you journey through Medgar Evers College. First of all, I'd like to introduce Dr. Gail Gibson-Bala, who is the Dean for Student Advocacy and Support Services Center. She is in charge of the SEEK Freshman Year Learning Center, Post-Secondary Readiness Center, and many other things on campus. She is she's a really important person, so if you need anything, she's a person who can certainly help you. I would also like to acknowledge Sister Safia Bandelli, who is the director. Yes, you may applaud. They know you already, Safia. She is our very able and distinguished director of the Women's Center. I want to acknowledge Ms. Janice Zumo, who is the director of the SEEK program, standing at the back of the room. And I also want to acknowledge Mr. Peter Holloman, who is the director of the Male Empowerment and Development Center. Mr. Holloman is responsible for helping us to get a giveaway that we will be giving away at a later date. But we do have a special drawing that you will learn about as the weeks go on. Again, I want to congratulate you on selecting Medgar Evers College, a community that truly cares. We expect great things for you, and we know that that you expect great things of yourselves. Thank you for being here tonight. And if you know someone who is coming here and you know that they should have been here, make sure you tell them what they missed. God bless you, and we look forward to seeing you in the weeks to come.